Greetings, mind crafters, and welcome to another Mindcraft discussion on this glorious day. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and I am ecstatic to be the hostess with the mostest in general and talk about all things that, sort of involve becoming the boss of your brain, becoming the boss of your brain. There are only two choices in this world that we know of, and as far as this goes, and the first is to to control our own thoughts, or the second is to allow our thoughts to control us, right? So Minecraft is about learning to control our thoughts to live your very best life. So there you have it. So today's episode is about sprinkling gratitude dust on people, and they don't even know. They don't have to know. It can just be like our little secret. I do my own little positive psychology experiments all the time, and it's an absolute ball. So my inspiration for today is I've been on a Rhonda Byrne kick at least last few couple days, and she's the author of The Magic and also The Secret. And so she talks a lot about gratitude, as many of the creatives do, because this is, the master key to happiness and the master key to creativity, the master key to abundance, the master key to living your best life is what it's all about. So she starts with a quote from St. Ambrose. And he said, "No duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks." So Rhonda talks about, she starts out by saying, ancient spiritual teachings say that we give to another person, um, with a full heart returns to us a hundredfold. Let me say that again. I was a little caught up in the snowfall. It's very beautiful. Ancient spiritual teachings say that what we give to another person with a full heart returns to us a hundredfold. I love that. So being grateful and saying thank you to another person for anything you receive from them is not only urgent, it's vital to improving your life. This is amazing because I was just having this chat with my Mindcrafters yesterday, and we were talking about, actually it was a little bit of a tangential topic, but it still rolled into this, that when we do something for another person, I know what it was. It was the how full is your bucket conversation, with keeping ourselves filled up and filling up other people's buckets, right? So that they're feeling recharged and rejuvenated and their best selves. So when we put a drop in someone else's bucket or saying thank you, like we're talking about, we then receive a drop in our bucket as well to fill us up and have us be feeling good. And so this is perhaps the universe or God or higher power, source, whatever, with a capital S, possibly keeping us, being grateful and doing nice things for people, expressing gratitude. And there's, in addition to the drop in our bucket keeping us full, there's a dopamine, or that is, I guess, in a visual for the dopamine fix that happens when we do nice things for people and genuinely in our hearts express and experience, or let's just say it the other way around, experience and express gratitude. And Rhonda continues it when she tells us that gratitude is a powerful energy. I mean, I think we all know that, right? So powerful. And she says, and so whomever you direct gratitude's energy toward, that's where it goes. I love that because personally, I pray. I say I pray, and that's how it is. And it's my podcast, and I can say that if I want to. I love saying that; so much fun. But if somebody's not a prayer and they like to say send the good vibes, then say that. Or sometimes people say dedicate or devote a mindfulness practice. So maybe it's spiritual, it's secular, whatever. It's just, divinity, which I guess is not really. I don't know. Secular counts like not religious, but does count spiritual. I don't know. Anyway, not important. So if you want to devote a mindfulness practice and in your mind, and no one even knows but you're devoting that minute of quiet to someone who's ill, or someone who's sad, or someone who's, grieving or whatever. Personally, I believe that all counts. You're because think about when you have the combination of attention and intention going in a direction, of course it counts. That person is feeling that on some level. And this is also the basis for a lot of energy healing. You can actually, I didn't know this till my bestie from growing up is a Reiki master. I know that she can send Reiki across the mile. So there you go, right there. And then she says, if you think of gratitude's energy looking like sparkling magic dust, then when you express gratitude to another person in return for something you've received from them, you are literally sprinkling them with that magic dust. The powerful, positive energy in magic dust reaches and affects whomever you sprinkle it upon on. And then Rhonda kind of goes on to talk about how, in general, in life, we're walking around, whether you're, rural or urban or suburban or whatever, um, unless you're hanging out with the penguins in Antarctica, which would also be sweet to say thank you to them, right, for just being so cute and adorable. But no matter where you are, you're making contact with people at the toll booth, at the grocery store, at the gas station. If you're having medical visits, there's all those people. You're just bump into people all over the place doing, the barista, whoever. And it's so important because what does she say about this? Like the bus drivers, everything, we're making contact constantly. And so she says, think about the people you encounter on a typical day who provide you with some kind of service, like those working in stores or restaurants. We're talking about cab drivers now, to Uber drivers, whatever. The people who work in service are giving themselves to serve you. All right, she's talking about life minutes, right? It's all about all about an exchange of life minutes, and she says, and you're receiving their service. So somebody who's pumping your gas is using their life minutes. They could be just doing something else, right? Far more enjoyable, maybe. They may be thinking, but they're not. They're there, or they're behind a cash register, or they're giving you a massage, or they're serving your meal, or they're teaching a class, or they're you know, um, giving you a checkup or whatever. So, life minute exchange, right? So, she says if you don't say thank you in return for their service, then you're not being grateful and you're stopping the good from coming into your life. It's interesting because it's a fabulous 58. This is part of my life. I thank people all day, every day. And during the pandemic, I was saying thank you just for working. I was so grateful and I was working too, I don't mean that, but I was, the folks at the Walmart, because I went an hour away to get food over there because it was, that much more, it was that much cheaper for one, because the food prices went through the roof. It was also really good quality, and I drove all the way over there, and these people just so much they were friendly and kind, and I just said, "Thank you for working. Thank you for working, and thank you for being so pleasant." And I said that to them, and I meant it with my whole heart, my whole being. And I did that drive. Not that our local grocery store isn't nice too; they're all nice there as well. It's a gigantic price difference. That's part of it. But just so incredibly, just going out of the way to greet you and all this stuff. And yesterday, I stopped in um, to where was I stopping into? Oh, I checked in on an appointment at my healthcare place, and I stopped in, not expecting anything to happen because I kind of just was on my way home from work, and they were lovely. And I said, I'm not being entitled. I'm just checking if there's an opening. Da, 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 and thank you so much. And da da da. And people just smile back at you. The energy is good, versus going in, they're all entitled and I think gets that a lot is insurance companies. Like when you stop in your agent, people have this entitled thing with insurance. I pay you every month, I pay you every month, and like I don't get anything for it. I've seen that with insurance in particular because you just pay it in case there's a problem, right? But since there isn't a problem, it feels like you're just paying for nothing. If there is a problem, you're super grateful. So it might be, I guess one of the messages from this podcast is go hug your local insurance agent. It's so true. Um, and the dentist, I thank them all. And I think it's so important. And then she gets into saying, think about the maintenance workers who keep our transport systems working safely and those who maintain the service of utilities such as electricity, gas, water, and our roads. Where that is taking my head straight to right now, I've flown a lot in the last month and a half, and I saw the people because it was winter, right? And just out there, they had to be so cold, de-icing the planes, and snow's coming down, and just gratitude in my head, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Oh, and that's another thing I do on my way out of, exiting from any flight I do ever. I thank the flight attendants because you're usually waiting right up on the front. saying, "Have a nice day," and I thank them, and then I dip my head in and say, "Thank you to the pilots for a safe flight." Think of the alternative, not good. And then I'm thinking if any of you are into, your daily visitors or patrons to Dunks or Starbucks. Think of this. Rhonda says, when you're at a cafe or restaurant, sprinkle magic dust by saying thank you to each person as they serve you. Whether cleaning the table, giving you the menu, receiving your order, filling your glass with water, serving the meal you ordered, clearing the table, ba 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 ba. If you're in the store or supermarket, check out, sprinkle magic dust and say thank you to the person who serves you or packs your groceries. I absolutely love this because it is, when you come down to it, an exchange of life minutes. And I think it is of utmost importance to express it. Look at it this way. And actually, I think of a one of my favorite priest friends, and I have a lot of them. I love the Eddies from St. Mike's, where I went to college, and Father Vanderweel, we call him the Wheel for short. He had this crazy hyena laugh, and when we would go out to an Italian restaurant or something, he's all about the compliments, but he was all about the huge tip. He would leave twice as much as the bill. It's a very cheap place, but he would leave double. And I looked up at him once, and he just said, "Always be generous. Always, always be generous." Obviously, you can't go wrong being generous. You can't go wrong giving people compliments. You can't go wrong saying thank you, and you can't go wrong leaving a generous tip. It just all goes straight, right in the karma train, moving forward. That's it. So, sprinkle magic gratitude dust wherever you go. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the beautiful, blizzardy northern Vermont. Have a mindful day. And then I'm thinking if any of you are into, your daily visitors or patrons to Dunks or Starbucks. Think of this. Rhonda says, when you're at a cafe or restaurant, sprinkle magic dust by saying thank you to each person as they serve you. Whether cleaning the table, giving you the menu, receiving your order, filling your glass with water, serving the meal you ordered, clearing the table, ba 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 ba. If you're in the store or supermarket, check out, sprinkle magic dust and say thank you to the person who serves you or packs your groceries. I absolutely love this because it is, when you come down to it, an exchange of life minutes. And I think it is of utmost importance to express it. Look at it this way. And actually, I think of a one of my favorite priest friends, and I have a lot of them. I love the Eddies from St. Mike's, where I went to college, and Father Vanderweel, we call him the Wheel for short. He had this crazy hyena laugh, and when we would go out to an Italian restaurant or something, he's all about the compliments, but he was all about the huge tip. He would leave twice as much as the bill. It's a very cheap place, but he would leave double. And I looked up at him once, and he just said, "Always be generous. Always, always be generous." Obviously, you can't go wrong being generous. You can't go wrong giving people compliments. You can't go wrong saying thank you, and you can't go wrong leaving a generous tip. It just all goes straight, right in the karma train, moving forward. That's it. So, sprinkle magic gratitude dust wherever you go. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the beautiful, blizzardy northern Vermont. Have a mindful day.